Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Game Easter Eggs, the series where we cover some of the best Easter eggs found in video games. As always, if you think you know of a video game Easter egg that I'm yet to cover, then let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to check it out and of course credit you in a future video. Oh, and let's do a quick subscriber count update. We are now just 70,000 subscribers away from hitting 1 million, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Stalker 2. Now, Stalker 2, much like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, has struggled to compete for my attention thanks to my crippling Marvel Rivals addiction. Well, in a display of what can only be described as remarkable willpower, I managed to stop playing Marvel Rivals long enough to find some Easter eggs in the radioactive survival shooter. First up, at this location on the map, you can find this. So this person has definitely seen better days. I mean, living in a world as deadly as Stalkers is bad enough, but then having something burst from your chest is truly the cherry on top of the cake. Of course, this gruesome discovery is a reference to this scene from Alien, where an alien did the same thing. The other Stalker 2 Easter egg that I wanted to share also references a popular movie. At this location on the map, you can find this. So this car trapped in a tree is a reference to this scene from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I mean, even the car in the tree in Stalker looks like the car in Harry Potter. Like I said, I'm starting to manage my Marvel Rivals addiction, so if you know of any other Easter eggs that are worth checking out in Stalker 2, let me know in the comments. Now, in my previous Hidden Details video, which is a different series to this one by the way, the developer of Clive N Wrench stopped by and left a comment explaining how they may have gone a little overboard with the Easter eggs and details in the game. And to that I say, you can never have too many Easter eggs or details. Now, some of my favourite Easter eggs to find are the ones that parody real life movies, TV shows or games. And on one of the shelves in Clive N Wrench's first level, you can find a whole bunch of games that are references to real world games. As you can see, I wasn't exaggerating when I said a whole bunch, but the ones that I recognise are Luigi's Mansion, Sly Cooper, Ratchet & Clank, Jak and Daxter, Spyro, Spyro 2, and A Bug's Life. I'm guessing that a lot of you are shouting the name of some of these games as we speak, so let me know which ones I missed down below. Now, in the last Hidden Details video, I said that whilst it's a decent game, Clive N Wrench isn't on the same level as Banjo-Kazooie or even Yooka-Laylee. Well, you can actually find a character from Yooka-Laylee in Clive N Wrench. On the Cajun Mob Bog level, you can find Trouser the Snake, who will help you by opening a door. Now, this next Clive N Wrench Easter egg is going to make some of you feel things that you may have never felt before, but just know you're not alone. Probably. During the Ancient Egypt level, you can find a familiar face. So this is Laura Cruz, and definitely not Lara Croft. I mean, she sure does look the part, and if you take the time to speak to Laura, she will even mention locking her butler in the fridge, something which Miss Croft is known to do. Now, when I last covered Tavern Manager Simulator, a couple of people mentioned that there were loads more Easter eggs to find in the game. Well, try as I might, I haven't had much luck, and the Easter egg that I have found may not even be an Easter egg. Hanging from a tree, you can find this guy. I mean, be honest, who do you think this might be a reference to? Go on, I'll give you a couple of seconds to type your answer. Well, when I first saw him, I thought it was a nailed-on Spider-Man reference, but the more I think about it, the less sure I am. I mean, the colour scheme is spot on, and of course he's hanging upside down, but that's it. What do you think? Easter egg or not? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and for those of you who said this game had more Easter eggs to find, help me out and tell me where they are and I'll give you a cookie. Now, Easter egg hunting in Escape from Tarkov is actually kind of tricky. You see, in most games you pull up your map, see where you are and then mark a waypoint of where you want to go. In Tarkov, you open your map and, well, nothing. It's just like opening a map in real life. There are no markers, no waypoints, nothing. You're on your own. How you're supposed to use the map is to locate a landmark nearby, find it on the map, and then navigate your way from there. I must admit, at first it was a right pain in the arse, but once you get your bearings, it's actually quite rewarding. Anyway, the first Tarkov Easter egg for today's video can be found on the shoreline map. In one of the village buildings, you can find this. So that's not something you see every day. Now, when I first saw this chair on the ceiling, my mind immediately went to Paranormal Activity 3, where a spirit moves all of the kitchen furniture to the ceiling. Because if there's one thing that evil spirits love to do, it's to play practical jokes. I could have sworn that something similar happened in the original Poltergeist movie, but after checking, the chairs are only stacked on the table, not on the ceiling, which is amateur hour compared to a ceiling chair. If you can think of anything else this gravity-defying chair might be referencing, let me know in the comments. Next up, if you go to the resort and find room 321, you can see strange symbols painted around the door. Heading inside the room, you can find more of the same symbol along with hanging pig carcasses. Well, it turns out that you're not alone in this room. So this person wearing a pig's head might be a reference to Amanda from Saw, or any of Jigsaw's accomplices, who would kidnap Jigsaw's victims whilst wearing a pig mask. I mean, it could be that, or it could just be someone wearing a pig's mask taking a bath. Who knows? The final Tarkov Easter egg can be found on the reserve map. If you look at this dome, what's the first thing you notice? Well, the more perceptive among you may be able to make out this crack in the dome, which looks an awful lot like the Batman logo, which I'm sure isn't a coincidence. Right, let's end today's video with Chivalry 2. Now, when covering Ubisoft games recently, I've taken to calling them Ubislop in the lower third. That's this thing down here. It seems that Ubisoft have taken notice of this, as I wasn't invited to try out Assassin's Creed Shadows during a recent playtest event, despite being invited to playtest other games before. I mean, that's fine, they can do what they like. If a harmless joke is enough to annoy them, then so be it. But I think I may have discovered why Assassin's Creed Shadows keeps getting delayed. On the Reclamation of Moncru map, if you use the spectator cam, you can find this guy. So it seems like another potential assassin didn't make the cut, as they couldn't stick the landing. This assassin has one of the biggest hidden blades I think I've ever seen. In fact, it's so big I don't think it can even be called a hidden blade. At this point, it's just a blade. It looks like this unlucky chap tried to perform the leap of faith but got his angles all wrong. Like I said, perhaps this is why Assassin's Creed Shadows was delayed. Who knows? So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.